special reports on tech tyranny, looking at how big tech companies are gaining more and more power and endangering a lot of things that we think are important, like democracy and clear thinking. Here's another example. China's military is obsessed with artificial intelligence and is investing massive resources into developing an advantage over our military in artificial intelligence. Eric Schmidt chairs Alphabet, that's the parent company of Google. He's admitted that China will soon be the world's leader in AI, and they'll use it for military purposes. He's right, maybe. Now Google is dramatically expanding its artificial intelligence research operations in China, which is bolstering an effort that could eventually imperil the security of this country. Paul Scher is the author of Army of None, Autonomous Weapons and the Future of War, which looks like a horrifying book. Haven't read it yet, but I plan to. Paul joins us tonight. Thanks, Paul, for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
So give us the overview of this. Did I characterize it fairly, do you think?
Look, it's not surprising that Google's looking to make research investments in China. China's got top-tier AI talent. Human capital is key here. And they've got access to a lot of data. China will have 20% of the world's data by 2020. And data is the fuel that powers machine learning. And so to a company like Google, they want access to all that data. So they've said, yeah, they've made very clear that they're standing up more research in China. And that is concerning for the United States.
Well, so I guess what I'm confused by is, so Google describes itself as a multinational company, really a kind of corporation of the world. But it was incubated here. And everything about Google fundamentally is American. It wouldn't have been possible to start Google in China. And yet Google doesn't seem to feel any obligation whatsoever to the U.S. government or to the American people. So how does that work exactly?
Look, this is capitalism. I mean, these companies are responsible.
Actually.
Well, these companies are responsible to their shareholders. They're not accountable to the American people, and so they're going to do what's in their business interest. And if there's a business interest to move overseas, to stand up a research center, to offshore jobs, they're going to do that.
So American taxpayers subsidize the education of the people who founded Google and who work there, and we create the regulatory and legal framework possible for it to start. Again, no other company like this has started in Europe, for example, certainly not in Asia. So we make it possible, and then they turn around and undermine the national security of the country. I know that people describe that as market capitalism, but that seems immoral to me.
Look, at the end of the day, we're in a technology race, and it's not just China, it's other countries as well. Vladimir Putin has said whoever controls AI will lead the world. France just released a new plan on artificial intelligence. We're going to have to compete. We're going to have to make the U.S. an attractive place for people to come and invest and do AI research and found companies and grow them. And we're going to have to win this race by being faster than others.
Well, here's another thing that confuses me, and since you've covered it, maybe you've got the answer. So companies like Google are big on importing talent, and they argue, and I understand why, and they argue that we just don't have enough engineers, for example, so we need to bring them in on H-1B visas. Is there any thought by the billionaires who run these companies, hey, maybe we should take some of our billions and invest in American education? This country isn't producing an adequate number of scientists. Maybe we could help with that. Or because they feel no obligation to the country, only to their shareholders, they don't feel that?
I think some of these leaders do. You know, you see Eric Schmidt, the former chairman of Alphabet, Google's parent company, was part of the Defense Department's Innovation Advisory Board. He has been very active in talking to people at the Pentagon about how the United States can retain its leadership in artificial intelligence. So some of these leaders care.
Really? Because Andrew Carnegie put a library in every town in America once he got rich here. I don't see any of these guys giving back really in any way to the country. They seem just to be taking from it. Call me left wing.
I think a lot of them could do more, right? And more philanthropy from billionaires would be great. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be great, and we should demand it because this country made their fortunes possible, I think. Paul, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.